On the whole, I've been a saint to those poor unfortunate souls.
Hello and welcome to Poor Unfortunate Podcast. I'm Conor Perkins.
And I'm Caroline Ametti.
This is the Disney podcast for grown-ups where we shoot the shit about Disney the way that you do with your friends. Welcome, listeners, to a brand new episode of Caroline What's New, our bi-weekly mini episode series where we go through all the latest and greatest in Disney news. This episode is being recorded on Sunday, April 6th, 2025. So, Caroline, what's new?
Let's start with Walt Disney World news, as we usually do. This is a really exciting one for us. So concept art for another float that will be part of Disney Starlight Dream the Night Away, the nighttime parade coming to Magic Kingdom later this summer. And we wished for it and we called it. It's going to be a literal Wish float featuring Asha, Valentino, and Star, like in a little tree. So cute.
Yeah, it's the like wishing tree that she used to go to with her father.
Yes, and like the flowers on it are all lit up. And then the singing mushrooms are going to be on the back of the float. I love the singing mushrooms. It's going to be perfect. I honestly wish it was even bigger because I could see Star leading this whole parade. I'm on that team. But, I know Wish isn't as popular with some people. I really love Wish. But as previously announced, the parade will be led by the Blue Fairy and will include characters from Encanto, Coco, Frozen, Peter Pan, and many Disney Princess classics. Cannot wait for that. And Blizzard Beach Water Park just celebrated its 30th birthday on April 1st. It's been having record attendance, and for the first time since 2019, both Blizzard Beach and Typhoon Lagoon will be open at the same time from May 21st to September 7th. And this will accommodate the new 2025 perk that offers Walt Disney World hotel guests free water park admission on their check-in day. So if you're going to take them up on that, expect that it will be pretty full. I think they've even had to cap capacity recently with like spring break happening. So
that makes sense.
Just know that if you're going to try to go. But let's give Disneyland California some love. I don't talk about it enough. So there's a lot going on. Guests visiting Galaxy's Edge in Disneyland now have the opportunity to meet Luke Skywalker and R2-D2 as their meet and greets.
I saw this.
Yes, it's so cool. Their meet and greets have just debuted for the 2025 Season of the Force, which runs through May 11th. Luke, he looks really cool. He is in his black Return of the Jedi outfit, and this is his first time appearing in Galaxy's Edge. And while it's okay, like his age in this appearance, he's young Luke. It doesn't quite fit in Batuu because Batuu is basically set between Star Wars episodes 8 and 9. He looks cool, and I know that we're all rolling with it. So it's whatever. And also, who doesn't want to see R2-D2? But R2-D2 has actually appeared in Galaxy's Edge previously. Season of the Force this year will also include a new nighttime projection show on the Batuu Spires and the return of the Fire of the Rising Moon's dessert party, an updated Hyperspace Mountain, special food and beverage items and merchandise, and a new Savi's Workshop storyline. One day I really do want to go for Season of the Force. I've very much become a Star Wars fan, so it sounds like a lot of fun. Disney also revealed new locations coming to the constantly expanding downtown Disney district in California. Lululemon will move into the former ESPN Zone building. Nectar Life will offer bath and body products with a special blending bar where guests can create their own custom fragrance and a customization bar where visitors can create their own milkshake bath soaks and nourishing whipped soap. Me and Conor would be all over this. Yeah, we would be all over this. We might have to go. Then we have Bopo Go. It's a new cafe concept being planned just for downtown Disney by Eric Wong and Philip Wong, co-owners of Bopo Mofo Cafe, which has several locations throughout Southern California. So Bopo Go is going to be inspired by Asian convenience stores and will also offer some snacks and things like that. And 2 new dining spots are in the works from Michelin-starred chef Joe Isidori, Arthur & Son Steak, and Bourbon and Pearls Roadside Barbecue. So with these 2 additions, we have like the whole gamut of like any kind of cuisine you could want in downtown Disney.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, it's exciting.
That's wild.
And finally, just a small silly thing, but this captured my attention. If popcorn buckets and or Powerline are your thing, I know we have a lot of Powerline fans out there. For a limited time, Disneyland guests can purchase the $35 Powerline popcorn bucket. And this is interesting because it was previously only available to guests attending the separately ticketed event, Disneyland After Dark 90s Night. So I would hurry if you're interested. I think it's just they're selling it until the supply runs out. But, these separately ticketed events are expensive. They sell out. So it's just like, it's a nice opportunity. And I've been watching some like vlogger coverage of the 90s night, and it actually looked like a lot of fun. So a little taste of that for anybody who's interested.
Well, staying with the Powerline theme, we're going to go into Disney Plus news. So I'm going to start off by talking about what's now available. So we got the trailer and key art for Not Just a Goof, which is that documentary about the making of a Goofy movie that I had talked about. And that is in celebration of the film's 30th anniversary. So that is now streaming on Disney Plus by the time you are listening to this. I neglected to mention this a few weeks ago, but for fans of The Simpsons out there, there is now a channel added to the Disney Plus home that is continuously streaming on Disney Plus. That means 767 episodes across 35 seasons, over 300 hours worth of the show is now streaming 24/7 on Disney Plus.
If that's like your comfort show, like good for you.
Yeah, you got it. And then just a few days ago, we got the renewal order for the next 4 seasons of The Simpsons from Fox in an unprecedented 4x4 renewal. So that's 4 more seasons renewed of 4 different shows: The Simpsons, Family Guy, Bob's Burgers, and American Dad. Crazy. And so speaking of renewals, this is technically ABC and not Disney Plus, but we have gotten renewal orders from the network primetime shows for ABC for 911, Grey's Anatomy, The Rookie, Shifting Gears, Will Trent, Abbott Elementary, and High Potential. So if you're a network primetime person, then, you know, you've got a lot of stuff got renewed.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only thing that is currently waiting still is Dr. Odyssey. Hasn't been announced whether or not it's being renewed yet. For stuff that is announced coming soon, as I've mentioned before, the new season of Doctor Who starts streaming on Disney Plus on Saturday, April 12th. So that'll be this coming Saturday. And then the season finale of Daredevil Born Again is coming up not this current week, but next week on Tuesday, April 15th. And that airs, as all the episodes do, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Now let's talk about some Disney films. So stuff that's now available. The big one is Snow White. Our girl has been stumbling at the box office. She has fallen to the number 4 spot domestically this weekend, merely 3 weeks after it opened. It's projected this weekend by Deadline to earn only $5.7 million domestically, which is dropping to single digits from its $42.2 million opening in the US. Last week, the film dropped by 66%, and it is currently tracking far below already low predictions, with an expected $115 million loss for Disney. So she's not looking great. That being said, Caroline and I have both seen this film now.
Yes, we have. We have contributed to that box office number, baby.
We have. And together we have said absolutely nothing to each other about this, because instead of a rant and rave episode next, you will be getting a debrief bonus episode from us on Snow White.
Woo-hoo.
So something to look forward to.
Yes.
Especially if you're someone who is not planning on seeing this film. We got you covered. So stuff that's announced coming soon, we're going to stay with Snow White a little bit. So following the underwhelming performance of Snow White, it has been reported that Disney has hit the pause button on their live-action adaptation of Tangled. The film has been in active development, with Michael Gracie of The Greatest Showman set to direct the script by Jennifer Caton Robinson. It is seeming that Disney is rethinking their strategy they began in the 2010s to aggressively adapt their titles into live-action films based on that more tepid downward box office trend that they've seen steadily falling, really from Cruella, which had a sort of Disney Plus and theater release, then to The Little Mermaid, Mufasa, and then now to Snow White, which has earned the lowest cinema score of any live-action Disney adaptation. Currently, only 2 live-action adaptation films are still moving along: Lilo and Stitch, which comes out in May, and then the live-action Moana, which premieres next summer.
Mm-hmm.
As if there wasn't already enough pressure on these, there's a lot of pressure on these 2 films to perform. Otherwise, live-action films are kind of done.
Mm-hmm. And I've heard Tangled talked about the most, followed by Hercules, I would say.
Yeah.
So I guess that's probably not going to keep moving forward either.
Yeah, they have not said any. They haven't said anything about what the plans would be then to pick Tangled back up.
Mm-hmm.
But they are hitting the pause button. In some brighter news, we got an epic cast announcement for Avengers Doomsday, where we saw the cast chairs all being lined up by Robert Downey Jr., who is returning to the MCU as Doctor Doom. Among the gigantic cast of A-listers, so much so that this became like a meme for like a couple days after. Among the cast, we also saw the inclusion of members from the original 2000s X-Men films, including Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen, and Alan Cumming as Nightcrawler.
Wow.
And this isn't even everyone who is part of it, as casting and continued work on the story continues. So they said to keep staying tuned because there's going to be more announcements coming, which is wild because this cast is freaking huge. Everybody's in it. And then last thing I'll say, so this past week, we had the film fan convention CinemaCon, and that was in Las Vegas. And among the studios to present was Disney. They had a ton of guest speakers, behind-the-scenes sneak peeks, brand new announcements, first looks at trailers. So I'm going to give you some of my personal highlights from Disney at the event. So Tron Ares. We got a new extended trailer for the third Tron film, and this was shown after an elaborate like grid light show that they did in the space.
Ooh, cool.
This new film follows a highly sophisticated program, Ares, who is sent from the digital world into the real world on a dangerous mission, making humankind's first encounter with AI beings.
Ooh.
So very timely, very topical. The Fantastic Four First Steps, attendees of the event, they got to see new footage of this film as well as a first look at Julia Garner as the Silver Surfer. So this footage we don't know what she looks like. Only the people at CinemaCon know.
Wow.
The first trailer for the third of James Cameron's Avatar films was shown at CinemaCon after a digital address from James Cameron himself. Attendees were given 3D glasses to view the trailer, which hasn't been released to the general public. The film introduces 2 new clans of Na'vi, the Wind Traders and the Fire People. And the film is set to hit theaters on December 19th. And then my last big moment for me personally was Zootopia 2. So Oscar winner Ke Huy Quan introduced 2 clips and first look visuals for the next Zootopia film. He voices the venomous but lovable pit viper, Gary DeSnake. And he revealed that Quinta Brunson of Abbott Elementary is joining the cast as a Quokka therapist, Dr. Fuzzby.
Oh, wow.
And this is what they've said of the film. So, quote, in the all-new story, Nick and Judy find themselves on the twisting trail of a mysterious reptile who arrives in Zootopia and turns the animal metropolis upside down. To crack the case, Judy and Nick must go undercover to unexpected new parts of town where their growing partnership is tested like never before, end quote.
Ooh.
So it's going to be good. We're introducing reptiles.
Oh, Gary DeSnake is about to be my obsession.
Gary DeSnake.
Gary DeSnake.
Come on. So funny.
And just to wrap things up in our little miscellaneous category, speaking of CinemaCon, those lucky CinemaCon attendees were treated to a trailer for Wicked for Good. And there is a summary out, so people who saw it wrote a little summary of what songs are being sung and what we see, but it's just not, of course, the same as seeing it. So Connor and I have been looking everywhere for a leak for that.
Well, especially because it's 2.5 to 3 minutes.
When I heard the length, I was floored at how long it was.
Yeah, I agree. That's the one thing I will say about CinemaCon is there was really only one studio that allowed people to take footage of what they were shown.
Yeah.
Everyone else was no photos, nothing.
Yeah.
And I'm part of what CinemaCon is meant to do is to sort of reinvigorate people wanting to go to the movies and valuing the theatrical experience. And I understand the perk of being there to see it and everything. I'm but at the same time, some of the buzz and excitement or whatever could potentially die out if people feel so excluded from it. It's a fine line.
They want that
so we'll
money. They want us to buy a ticket. And you know what? If they had asked nicely enough, we would have done it.
If I had known that Wicked for Good was going to be there, I would have been there.
They also, I'm sure everyone's seen it online if you're interested in Wicked at this point, but there's also the new poster, which is stunning. And
the
also
hidden W.
The hidden W. They're staring at each other across a valley. It's just too much. And it was also announced to attendees that the film isn't done yet. So,
yes.
Ooh, spicy.
It's not done. They're working.
Yeah, they're still working on it. Oh my God. So, once it becomes Wicked season again, You can expect us to talk more
It's
and more
always
about that.
wicked
It's always
season.
wicked season, let's be real. But of course, we'll be covering the new movie when it comes out and all that jazz.
I'm going to shit myself.
I'm gonna cry my eyes out. And finally, the photo ban for Universal's Epic Universe has been lifted. So expect to see lots of content from team members and their guests as previews continue. There are still some no photo zones, so I think there are still a few amazing reveals in store. But even this morning when I got up and I took a quick look at Instagram, tons and tons of content from Epic Universe. So you'll be able to see what it looks like, see some of the characters walking around, see some of the meet and greets.
I saw some of the stuff from Dark Universe, the Frankenstein attraction.
Yes.
It is unreal.
Yeah.
The Frankenstein animatronic, I'm stunned.
Yes. I also saw someone meeting Frankenstein and the Bride of Frankenstein face characters. The makeup was incredible. The performances were amazing. It looks unreal. So yeah, we'll talk more about that as we hear more and more. And maybe one day we'll go. I would love that.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's going to do it for us. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure that you hit follow or subscribe wherever you're listening to the podcast so our episodes download to your device. You don't miss out on anything. Make sure that you follow us on social media. We are at Poor Unfortunate Podcast everywhere. And then we will see you back here in a week for a bonus debrief episode where we go through all of this live action Snow White. So I can't wait to finally talk to Caroline
I know.
about this.
We've been on a strict no discussion policy.
You will be getting our live first impressions.
Because usually we go see these things together or we talk about it a little bit first and we have we want it fresh for you all. So it'll be real and fresh.
So you're going to get it.
Yeah.
And until then, Beluga Savruga.